My name is Thomas O'Regan and I'm a professional property investor here in Australia. Now today I wanted to speak to you guys about what is, in my opinion, what is the biggest mistake property investors usually make. Now, and when I say property investors, I mean property investors that are starting out. Now the mistake that most property investors make, in my opinion, is when they're starting out, is they never actually start. Now, I'll tell you, when I started investing, I made a bunch of mistakes, and I still do make a bunch of mistakes. And I would say the first property I purchased was actually a mistake in retrospect. With all the experience I have now, I look back on that property and think, gee, if I just did it differently, if I had all this experience that I do now, that first investment would be a completely different investment, and I would have kicked off my property portfolio and grown to where I am now so much faster. But we can't live with the experience without having the mistake, right? So people are so scared of making mistakes in property investing that they just never even get started. If you truly want to be a property investor, the truth is most of the best property investors, they make huge mistakes at the start, and the resilience or the strength they have to find to push through that situation makes them the investor they are. I know my mentor, Nathan Birch, the first property he purchased was infested with termites. I don't know if he knew that when he was going into the deal or not, but he basically had to deal with it. The ceiling was caving in, and it was a residential investment property, so he had tenants in there and everything, and he basically had to rebuild the house or fix the issue, and he moved on from there, ultimately from there to where the peak of his property investing journey, which I would say is now. He's grown one property to over 250 properties over $100 million net worth. So my property, the first property I purchased, was in a terrible rental market. It was very hard to get tenants. As well as that, it was in a low socioeconomic area, which isn't such a bad thing as an investment, but it just meant that the tenants I got tend to trash the property. The first tenant that I ever got was in the property for 3 months. They got the property fully infested with cockroaches, and they trashed the property. There was burning fires in the house, and one of the rooms was just completely black with smoke. They left all their furniture, and I had to go in and clean it all up. But ultimately, that lesson taught me what was important about finding tenants, and actually about finding property managers, or finding the best property managers to find the best tenants for me, or to make sure that they're doing their due diligence to make sure the best tenants are in my properties. Anyway, so if you're serious about investing in property, you're going to make mistakes. That's just the way life goes, but don't let that hold you back. If you really want to make money and be wealthy in property, you just have to embrace it and take steps and action required. See you guys next time. Bye.